Top 3. Nuts to instantly cleanse your kidneys and flush out toxins. Fast. You press your finger into your ankle and the dent stays there. Or you wake up and your face looks swollen in the mirror. Maybe you're running to the bathroom more at night, or your lower back aches in a way it never did before. Your body is talking. Most people ignore these whispers until they turn into shouts, and by then, damage is already done. But if you caught it early, you're in the right place. 3 specific nuts can help your kidneys flush toxins, reduce that puffiness, and work the way they're supposed to. Not someday. Starting now. Let me show you exactly which ones, how much to eat, and why they work when so many other things don't. Let's start with the nut that most people overlook when thinking about kidney health, and that's exactly why it matters so much. Macadamia nuts. Macadamia nuts are different from almost every other nut you'll find. While almonds, cashews, and peanuts can be tricky for people watching their kidney function, macadamias sit in a category of their own. The reason comes down to 2 minerals your kidneys have to process constantly: phosphorus and potassium. When these minerals build up in your blood, your kidneys work harder to filter them out. Over time, that extra burden adds stress to organs that are already doing one of the toughest jobs in your body. Macadamia nuts contain far less of both minerals compared to other popular nuts. That means your kidneys don't have to work overtime just because you ate a handful. This makes them one of the safest choices if you're trying to support kidney function without adding strain. But here's what makes them truly valuable. Macadamias are packed with healthy monounsaturated fats, the same type found in olive oil and avocados. These fats don't just sit in your system. They actually help reduce inflammation throughout your body, including in the tiny filtering units inside your kidneys. Think of it this way. Your kidneys are constantly dealing with waste, toxins, and byproducts from everything you eat and drink. Inflammation makes that job harder. Healthy fats help calm things down and let your kidneys focus on their main work without fighting through swelling or irritation. Now, how much should you actually eat? This isn't about grabbing a bag and finishing it while watching something on your screen. A proper serving is about 8 to 10 macadamia nuts. That's roughly 1 ounce if you want to measure it out. You can eat them as a mid-morning snack or in the afternoon when your energy dips. Some people add them to salads or blend them into smoothies. But honestly, eating them plain works just fine. Here's where people get confused. Should you buy raw or roasted? Raw macadamias give you the cleanest option. There's nothing added, no extra salt, no oils that might have been used in roasting. If your main goal is kidney support, raw is the better choice. Roasted macadamias aren't terrible, but check the label. Some brands add salt, and too much sodium puts pressure on your kidneys over time. If you prefer the taste of roasted, look for dry roasted versions with no salt added. Timing matters more than most people think. Eating macadamia nuts earlier in the day gives your body time to process the fats and nutrients while you're active. Your metabolism works better during daylight hours, and your kidneys can handle the workload more efficiently when you're moving around rather than lying down for the night. Pay attention to how your body responds. After eating macadamias regularly for a week or 2, notice if you feel less bloated or if that puffiness around your eyes starts fading. These aren't dramatic overnight changes, but subtle shifts that tell you your kidneys are getting support. If you feel more energized or notice your skin looking clearer, that's another sign your body is processing waste more effectively. The beauty of macadamia nuts is that they fit into your routine without you having to think too hard. Keep a small container in your bag or at your desk. Eat them between meals when you need something satisfying but don't want to reach for chips or sweets. They're filling enough to stop cravings, but gentle enough not to overload your system. Before we continue on to the next nut, I want to hear from you. Where are you watching from? And have you noticed any of those warning signs lately? Maybe puffiness around your eyes in the morning, or that nagging lower back discomfort that won't go away? If you're actively working to support your kidney health naturally without relying on medications alone, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you get every piece of practical information I share. And if what you've learned so far about macadamia nuts actually makes sense and feels useful, type yes in the comments. If something wasn't clear or you need me to explain better, type no. I read these because I want this content to actually work for your life. Moving forward, there's another nut that works differently but just as powerfully for kidney health. Pistachios. Pistachios bring something entirely different to the table when it comes to kidney support. While macadamias work by staying low in certain minerals, pistachios take an active role. They contain powerful antioxidants that help protect your kidneys from the daily wear and tear of filtering blood. Every single day, your kidneys process about 200 quarts of fluid. During that process, they face constant exposure to waste products, toxins, and oxidative stress. That stress damages cells over time if nothing steps in to help. This is where pistachios come in. The antioxidants in pistachios, particularly lutein and zeaxanthin, work like a protective shield. They neutralize harmful compounds before those compounds can damage the delicate filtering structures in your kidneys. Think of it as having a cleanup crew that catches problems before they turn into bigger issues. The result is less inflammation and healthier kidney tissue overall. But here's the part that connects to something you might already be dealing with: high blood pressure. If you've ever had a doctor mention your blood pressure running a bit high, your kidneys are part of that conversation whether you realize it or not. Your kidneys and your blood pressure work together in a loop. When blood pressure goes up, it puts strain on the tiny blood vessels in your kidneys. Over time, that strain makes it harder for your kidneys to filter properly. Pistachios help break that cycle. They contain potassium, which helps balance sodium levels in your body. When sodium and potassium are in better balance, blood pressure tends to stabilize. That takes pressure off your kidneys and lets them work more efficiently. It's not a magic fix, but it's a piece of the puzzle that adds up when you're consistent. Now, this is where portion control becomes critical. Unlike macadamias, which are naturally low in potassium, pistachios have a moderate amount. For most people with healthy kidneys, that's perfectly fine and actually helpful. But if you're someone who's already watching potassium levels closely or dealing with kidney concerns, you need to be more careful about how many you eat. A safe serving size is about 30 pistachios, roughly 1 ounce. That gives you the benefits without pushing your potassium intake too high. Eating them in the shell actually helps with portion control because it slows you down. You're not mindlessly grabbing handfuls. You crack each one open, and that natural pause keeps you from overdoing it. Timing matters here too. Eating pistachios as a mid-afternoon snack works well for most people. Your body has already processed breakfast and lunch, and your kidneys are in their normal rhythm. Avoid eating large amounts late at night. Your kidneys slow down when you sleep, and giving them a heavy load of minerals right before bed isn't ideal. How do you know if pistachios are working for you? Look for steadier energy levels throughout the day. If you're not experiencing those afternoon crashes or feeling as drained by evening, that's a sign your body is handling waste more efficiently. You might also notice less bloating or puffiness, especially if you were holding on to extra fluid before. On the flip side, if you start feeling unusually tired or notice swelling in your feet or ankles after adding pistachios, you might be eating too many. Pull back on the amount and see if things improve. Your body will tell you what it needs if you're paying attention. The key with pistachios is understanding they're powerful, but require a bit more awareness than macadamias. Eat them mindfully, stick to proper portions, and you'll get kidney support without any downsides. There's one more nut that deserves attention, and it's one most people completely forget about: hazelnuts. Hazelnuts sit on grocery store shelves, and most people walk right past them. They think of them as something you find in chocolate spreads or fancy desserts, not as a tool for kidney health. That's a mistake worth fixing. What makes hazelnuts special comes down to one nutrient they have in abundance: vitamin E. This isn't just another vitamin your body uses for general wellness. Vitamin E works at the cellular level, protecting the membranes that surround every single cell in your kidneys. Those membranes take a beating every day. As your kidneys filter blood, they're exposed to free radicals and damaged molecules that try to break through cell walls. When those walls get damaged, kidney cells can't function properly. Over time, that leads to reduced filtration and waste building up in your system. Vitamin E acts like a barrier. It stops free radicals before they punch holes in cell membranes. This keeps your kidney cells strong and able to do their job without constantly repairing damage. The difference might not feel obvious in a week, but over months and years, this protection adds up to healthier kidneys that age more slowly. Oxidative stress is something your kidneys deal with non-stop. Every time they filter toxins, process medications, or handle the byproducts of digestion, oxidative stress builds up. It's like rust forming on metal. A little bit here and there doesn't seem like much, but it accumulates. Hazelnuts help manage that stress before it turns into long-term damage. They don't erase it completely, but they slow it down enough to matter. Now let's talk about actually eating them. A serving of hazelnuts is about 20 nuts, which is roughly 1 ounce. You can eat them on their own, but hazelnuts have a distinct texture and flavor that not everyone loves straight out of the bag. They're slightly sweet with a buttery quality, but the skin can taste a bit bitter. If that bothers you, look for blanched hazelnuts with the skin removed. They're smoother and easier to enjoy plain. Hazelnuts pair well with other foods in ways that feel natural, not forced. Chop them up and sprinkle them over oatmeal in the morning. Toss a handful into a salad for extra crunch. Blend them into a smoothie if you want the benefits without thinking about texture. Some people roast them lightly at home to bring out more flavor, and that's perfectly fine for kidney health as long as you're not adding salt or sugar. The roasted versus raw question comes up often. Raw hazelnuts give you vitamin E in its purest form without any additives. Dry roasted hazelnuts are a close second, and they taste better to most people. The light roasting doesn't destroy enough vitamin E to worry about. Just avoid oil-roasted versions or anything with added salt. Those extras don't help your kidneys and can introduce things you're trying to avoid. Incorporating hazelnuts into your routine doesn't require planning every meal around them. Keep a small jar in your pantry. Grab a handful when you need something to eat between meals. Add them to foods you're already making instead of treating them like a separate task. The easier it is, the more likely you'll stick with it. You'll know hazelnuts are working when you notice your skin looking healthier or feeling less fatigued during the day. These are indirect signs that your cells, including kidney cells, are functioning better. You might also feel less stiff or achy, especially in your lower back where your kidneys sit. That stiffness often comes from inflammation, and vitamin E helps reduce it over time. If this information is giving you clarity you didn't have before, please take 1 second to hit the like button. I know it seems like a small thing, but that pushes this video to someone else who's dealing with unexplained fatigue, swollen ankles, or confusing test results and has no idea that simple nuts could support their kidney function. You're like genuinely help someone who needs this information but doesn't know it exists yet. Now that you know all 3 nuts and what each one does, the real question becomes how to use them together in everyday life. You don't need to eat all 3 nuts every single day. That's not realistic, and trying to force it will only make you give up after a week. The goal is finding a pattern that fits your life without creating extra stress. Some people rotate. Macadamias on Monday and Tuesday, pistachios on Wednesday and Thursday, hazelnuts on Friday and Saturday, Sunday off or whatever nut sounds good. Others pick 1 or 2 favorites and stick with those consistently. Both approaches work. What matters is that you're getting regular support, not perfect coverage of all 3 every day. If budget is a concern, you're not alone. Nuts can be expensive, especially macadamias. Here's a practical way to handle it. Buy 1 type of nut at a time instead of all 3 at once. A bag of macadamias might cost more up front, but it lasts 2 to 3 weeks if you're eating proper portions. That breaks down to less than the cost of a coffee every few days. Pistachios and hazelnuts tend to be more affordable and easier to find in most stores. Start with what you can access easily and build from there. You can also combine them in simple ways that make eating them feel less like a task. Mix all three together in a small container and keep it at your desk or in your car. Grab a small handful when you need a snack. That way you're getting variety without overthinking which nut to eat on which day. Or chop them together and sprinkle them on yogurt, salads, or cooked vegetables. The texture adds something satisfying to meals you're already eating. Here's what people forget. These nuts are support tools. They help your kidneys work better, but they're not doing the job alone. You still need to drink enough water throughout the day. Your kidneys can't flush out toxins if they don't have enough fluid to work with. You still need to eat balanced meals with vegetables, lean protein, and whole grains. You still need to move your body regularly because circulation helps your kidneys filter blood more efficiently. Think of it this way. Macadamias, pistachios, and hazelnuts are part of a bigger picture. They're one piece of a lifestyle that supports kidney health over the long run. Consistency beats perfection every time. Eating a handful of nuts 4 days a week for months will do more for you than eating them perfectly every day for 2 weeks and then quitting because it felt too hard. Listen to your body as you go. If you feel better, keep going. If something feels off, adjust. Maybe you need fewer pistachios or more macadamias. Maybe hazelnuts work better for you than the other two. Everyone's body responds a little differently, and that's normal. The truth is, most people don't think about their kidneys until something goes wrong. But you're here, watching this, which means you're already ahead. You're taking small steps now that will add up over time. That's how real health changes happen. Not through drastic overhauls or complicated routines, but through simple, sustainable habits that become part of your life without feeling like work. Start with 1 nut this week. See how it feels. Add another next week if you want. Build slowly and trust the process. Your kidneys will thank you for it, even if you don't notice the difference right away. If this video helped you understand kidney health better, share it with someone who might need it. And if you want more practical health information like this, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Your health is worth the small effort it takes to stay informed.